have to watch a clock. I don't even have to watch a clock. I don't even have to watch a clock. I don't even have to watch a clock.
Hello, hello. Happy Monday. I hope you had an amazing weekend. Happy August. Today I am chatting with Miss Lucy Liu, who has a really interesting story. So even though she had straight A's in high school, she decided to drop out so that she could get a head start and speed up life. Shortly after that, she graduated from UCLA and thought she was pursuing her dreams of living her life as a financial advisor in Hollywood, but then she decided instead to choose love over career and, get this, moved to Taiwan, a country she had never even been to. All right, I don't want to ruin the whole story for you, so if you want to hear more about Lucy Liu, listen on, and I hope you enjoy it. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Bold Moves podcast. Today, I am chatting with Lucy Liu, who is so amazing that she woke up at 6:30 in the morning in Taiwan to chat with me, and it's 3:30 in the afternoon in Los Angeles. So I hope that you're awake, Lucy. Thank you so much for getting out of bed for all of us, and welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. It's such an honor to be here with you, Mandie.
Oh my goodness. Well, the pleasure is mine for sure. You know that the show is called Bold Moves, and you would not be sitting here chatting with me if you hadn't taken some risks along your journey. So I would love it if we started out with a little bit about you and your story, and then some of those bold moves that got you here.
Yeah. So, well, today I am sitting here as an unshakable optimist, but it wasn't always that way. I am a life coach now, helping women in transition of their lives.
Okay.
I believe this is a very vulnerable period, but it is a period of time where we see the most transformation, where the most potential is possible. So
Mm-hmm.
yes, I have taken many bold moves in my life, and I enjoy every part of it because it made me who I am today. And it all started probably in middle school.
Wow. Okay.
Uh, so I grew up in Los Angeles,
Okay.
and I lived near Hollywood, of course, right? So with that said, I signed up for acting classes, and I signed up for a casting agency when I was in middle school, and I took acting classes, and I went through audition after audition, and the casting director would always run out, "Oh my God, Lucy Liu's on the list. Lucy Liu's on the list,"
Oh, no.
right? Yes, but they would be so very apparently disappointed to see me.
Oh, no.
I went through many auditions, and you know what? I never got any role. Now that I look back upon that time of my life, I actually do not enjoy acting. I like being myself.
Yeah,
But it was the fame that I was chasing.
sure.
So yeah, I am really glad that I did not get any role now. But what it did to me was that it helped me practice gaining confidence, because my confidence was crushed every time. It was very
Yeah.
awkward that, I know it's like, oh my God, I'm not going to get a role again because they're so disappointed I'm not the Lucy Liu already.
Yeah,
So
that has to be a blow to your confidence and your ability to perform with being like, sorry, as your opener.
yeah, but it helped me build up my confidence. So I was becoming stronger and stronger, right? I didn't care about anything. I didn't care about what others thought. I just wanted to be me. And I was in such a hurry. I was hungry for success. So in sophomore year, after 10th grade, I dropped myself out of high school, even though I had straight A's. It wasn't because I was doing bad. It was just because of my ambition. I wanted to finish school sooner. So I dropped myself out of high school, and
How does that work?
I took the California proficiency test.
Okay.
It is a proficiency test you can take to get yourself out of high school, I guess.
Okay.
Um, it is kind of like equivalent to a high school diploma, but it's not as good. Like if you were to find a job after, it would not be good for you. But
Okay.
it is good enough to get you into a community college. So that's
Okay.
exactly what I did, because I knew I would go places. I knew I wanted to go to a better university, and I was very determined, and I worked hard for it, and I graduated UCLA.
Oh, wow. That's amazing because one would think, like you said, you got into a community college, that
Mhm.
that would potentially be a barrier or at least a speed bump for somebody because it's not the traditional path and not recognized as equal to the traditional path. But that's, I guess, something that you've overcome, and that's really impressive and cool.
Yeah, well, at the time, I thought I was really cool because I went to UCLA and I saw my classmates from high school, and they were 2 years behind me.
Yeah.
So I was always chasing this, faster route. I like shortcuts at the time. So that was my first bald move. Then,
Okay.
second bald move, I was interning at the Merrill Lynch branch in Century City.
Okay.
It, I was going into the financial um, sector, and I was going to be a financial planner when I decided that, oh my gosh, I went through all this hard work. I got myself through university, and here I am. I realized it wasn't right for me. I didn't feel right. I like, yes, my managers, they were making millions of dollars. They're managing funds for all these movie stars, A-listers, but I was there was a part of me that would feel so much guilt if I
Mhm.
lost money. It would be
Yeah.
great if I helped my clients make money, but there was always a part of me that would feel bad. I
Hmm.
didn't want that. It wasn't aligned with me. So I majored in economics. It was my dream to be working there.
Hmm.
But yeah, here I am deciding to let go of that and
Hmm.
move to Taiwan with my husband, well, then boyfriend.
Okay.
So that was another bold move. And people always
Okay.
ask me, how do you do it? You move to a foreign country without friends, without relatives, and you give up on UCLA, a career, or all this stuff that you were after for so long.
Hmm.
And I think that is exactly what made me who I am today,
Right.
because I am not scared to make these small, bold moves because they are more aligned with how I feel and
Hmm.
what my priorities and values are at the moment. And indeed, very shortly after I moved to Taiwan, the stock market crashed, right? Do you
Yeah.
remember that? Like maybe 12 years ago or so.
Right.
And yeah, I was like, well, I made the right decision.
Yeah,
And
you avoided that.
yeah, I would have just, I don't know, I'd probably go into depression if, right? Because just by my personality, because I get stressed out. I get stressed out
Yeah.
and my body reacts to it.
Yeah, I know how that goes for sure. So I'm curious, why Taiwan? What brought you there specifically?
Well, specifically because my husband is Taiwanese.
Okay.
So yeah, so his family needed him here.
Hmm.
So we came back. But we do plan to move back to Los Angeles
Okay.
eventually.
Gotcha.
Yes.
How long have you been there?
Um, I think almost 15 years.
Okay, quite a while.
Yeah, but I do visit Los Angeles every year for sure.
Okay, fantastic. Well, maybe sometime we can grab coffee or a drink or something when you're here.
Absolutely.
I would love that. So you said you're a life coach and you help, is it primarily women or people in transition? I don't remember if you
I
have specific.
primarily women in
Okay.
transition.
Okay, so tell me more about that, like who that exactly would be and how you help them.
It would just be women in any period of transition. It could be geological, or it could be a relationship, or it just happens to be my clients currently are all mompreneurs.
Okay.
They're moms. They're either transitioning from a day job or transitioning from a stay-at-home mom
Hmm.
into back into working,
Okay.
and they usually want to start something of their own
Hmm.
because of freedom and this flexibility.
Sure.
And I help them beat overwhelm. A
Hmm.
lot of times they feel stuck. So I always say this, I help unstuck women. And I love my job. I help them see clarity, set new goals, and live a happier life. And I love to use the word thrive. I am all about
Mm.
joy. If you know me, I am always positive. I am all about joy, and I want to shed that joy to you. I want to shine some light to you.
I love
So
that.
it's not about living, it's not about surviving, it's about living on purpose and waking up smiling.
Absolutely. Well, you're obviously doing that today since you just woke up, and you don't even have to know you to see that you're telling the truth, because I, of course, am looking at you. If someone's listening, they can probably hear it and imagine, but you're definitely exuding joy and enthusiasm, and that's a wonderful thing to see for sure.
Thank you so much. I mean, it's such an honor to help other women rewrite their life stories because they trust me. I'm like, thank you so much for honoring yourself and honoring your change and trusting me with supporting your journey, because it really takes courage. I know, because it's not easy to ask for help.
No, I'm terrible at that. I'm curious if you know this, and I imagine that you probably both work for it or work with it on your own as well as with your clients. But I always like to ask people if they know their purpose, and if so, if they wouldn't mind sharing what it is.
Oh, absolutely. Well, for me, my purpose is to grow my company that impacts people's lives, even if it's at one person at a time,
Hmm.
but yet still being there for my family.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Do you have children?
Yes, I have a daughter. She's in first grade.
Oh, so fun. So the mom thing resonates well with you because you're in that stage too.
Yes, yes, because I I think a lot of times it's not like what we have to be to
Hmm.
find clients, it's how we live our life. I
Sure.
want to talk the talk and walk the walk. So I am here, and my clients want to be where I am, even though if I'm just one step ahead of time. And I tell them I would love it if they go skyrocket ahead of me. And I
Absolutely.
believe some of them will.
Yeah, I hope so. That would be a great testimonial for you. Oh, I love it. So I'm curious, in all of these bold moves you've made, and there's so many with, leaving high school, even though that might make things harder, or going to school, or picking a different career where you didn't use your degree, moving to a new country. I'm wondering what the scariest moment through all of that has been.
Um, I mean, yes, there are tough maybe nights that I stay up, right? You're supposed to get anxious
Mm-hmm.
every time, every single time that you are going through a move.
Yeah.
um, if you're not anxious before doing something nerve-wracking or something new, then something is actually wrong. You're not normal. We're not normal. We're human beings. We get anxiety attacks, right? We get
Yeah.
stressed out. We get overwhelmed. It's perfectly normal, and we have emotions. Just know that. But just know that they are facts, right? And you come back. Our emotions only affect us for about 2 minutes or so.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to calm yourself down for the first 2 minutes. And
Mm-hmm.
then after that, you just have to notice your thoughts, right? Are they
Mm-hmm.
negative? Are they positive? You have to be very self-aware of those thoughts, because there's no such thing as anxiety or stress. They're intangible. You can't touch them, you can't feel them. Where are they? What are they? Right? They
Mm-hmm.
are thoughts. They are made up in our mind. They are the stories we tell ourselves.
Mm-hmm. I've
So
never heard that 2 minutes before. Where is that from? That our
um
emotions impact us for 2 minutes.
I don't know at the minute, but I believe actually, because my friend is also a life coach and she's doing psychology
Mhm.
masters, and she told me it's actually scientifically proven to be 90 seconds.
Interesting. I'll have to
Yeah,
look
but I
that up.
always tell my clients 2 minutes just to give it a little leverage.
A grace period.
Yes. But yeah, yeah, she told me that scientifically proven. I don't know where this comes from, but I believe it should be true. Um, that yes, this is why I think therapists use this, right? I mean, Mel Robbins talk about the 5 second rule.
Right.
Then 5 seconds, five, four, three, two, one, counting down,
Hmm.
it gives you that grace period of calming your emotions and really put your thoughts together the right way.
Got it. How would that work for someone who is diagnosed with anxiety or depression? Because if it's that rampant in someone's life for a diagnosis, it's probably more than 2 minutes. So, what do you think about that?
I think it really depends on the situation.
Okay.
You know your body best, right?
Hmm.
I know people who's been through depression
Hmm.
and they took pills and they are perfectly fine and they're thriving because they
Hmm.
believed those pills will help them. They
Okay.
believe there is a way. I
Hmm.
personally, my mom went through anxiety and depression. She
Hmm.
went to a doctor's and she got prescribed depression pills,
Hmm.
but she went home and looked at the pills and she said, No, I'm going to cure myself.
Hmm.
I'm going to give myself 2 months of time. And indeed, she did yoga first thing in the morning every day. She meditated and she danced around in the house. She watched comedy every day. And yes, indeed, 2 months later, she did not eat any pill and she healed herself.
Hmm.
So, this is why I always say it is so important to believe in yourself.
Hmm.
Because when you truly, madly, deeply believe in something, it becomes your reality. If you believe that your confidence level is low, if you always say, I have low self esteem,
Hmm.
if this is what you tell yourself, it's going to become true. That's your reality.
Sure.
So our brain is amazing.
Hmm.
So you have to trust it. If you believe your doctor is going to help you, if you believe that these pills will help you, yes, go ahead, take them. Do
Hmm.
whatever it takes to
Yeah.
help you, right? You know you can do it. You've got this. And there's all these coaches out there that does specialize in holistic healing.
Hmm.
And if you believe in it, yes, you can heal yourself holistically and without prescriptions. So many people have done it.
Yeah, I think that belief is definitely a huge component. And I'm glad that you still said that for people who believe in perhaps medicating, that that's important too, and that they should do it, because I think it can get kind of dangerous for people to prescribe, quote unquote, something like yoga, meditation, comedy, nature, and so on, because without that belief there, it's not possible for that to work. So I don't know where I stand on the spectrum of that whole line of thinking, but I think it's important to, I guess, acknowledge both sides, and that belief definitely plays a role in that, because that quote, if you can or can't, or if you think you can or can't, you're right, I think makes a lot of sense for sure. Because if you don't believe something's going to work, then you're not going to do everything in your power to make sure it does.
Yes, but definitely believing is the first step. Then
Yeah.
you have to take action as well, right? You have to control your environments.
Hmm.
Your courage is not the result of letting go blindly, right?
Hmm.
It's not blindly trusting a process. It's the result of understanding and controlling the details of the process. For example, if you want to give up TV right now, you would not want to have the TV on in your room.
Right.
It's like you have to control your environment and you have to focus. You have to focus on the little small details and your routines, right? Your key is that all these big complex problems can be chunked down into small, simple little action steps. So
Mm-hmm.
you don't have a problem. You have to shift your mindset, right? You're not struggling. You have to believe it at first that you are not struggling. You don't have a problem. You simply have these little inconveniences, right?
Mm-hmm.
And these fun challenges that comes up in life.
Yeah, I like that. That's a great attitude to have. You mentioned courage, and that makes me wonder, throughout all of those bold moves that you've made, what is the scariest thing you've done?
Oh, I don't believe I've done anything scary. Honestly, even
Hmm.
though when other people don't agree with me or might not think I am succeeding in life, I believe I am succeeding in life
Mm-hmm.
because it's exciting for me. All
Yeah.
fear is it's excitement. Like we talked about, I told Mandie before our interview that I was kind of nervous because this is my first video interview I'm doing,
Mm-hmm.
right? So you guys get to see me, and that's a little bit nervous, but actually, yes, my palm might sweat a little bit, my heart might be beating a little bit tiny faster, but all that is, it's actually just excitement.
I love that. That's a great outlook. So when you have clients that are doing something scary, and I guess since so many of them are in transition, they could have a lot of fear tied to that. How do you recommend that they harness that fear or work with that fear as excitement to get through whatever they're afraid to do?
You're definitely right. That is exactly what I do is when they feel the fear, I break down the fear and I shift them into excitement, and it becomes their motivation. You get motivated by embarrassment. You get motivated by downtime, right?
Mm-hmm.
There are so many amazing people out there, and when you interview them, they're talking about how they get bullied in school. They had
Mm-hmm.
all these embarrassing moments. All your downtime is exactly what you need to propel you like a rocket. You're
Yeah,
going straight up because of those motivation.
that's great. I like that perspective for sure. So you mentioned the 5 second rule, which is a book that I've read by Mel Robbins. I was inverting her first initials there, but I'm wondering what other books you might have to recommend for our listeners that might want to know more of what you know.
Um, I think if you are a woman, definitely you have to read Girl Wash Your Face
Okay.
by Rachel Hollis.
Mm-hmm.
And if you are a coach or in some type of leadership position, a book that really helped me was Say Less, Ask More, and Change the Way You Lead Forever.
Okay. That sounds like an interesting one. Very good.
Because we are always talking.
Mm-hmm.
And as a coach, as a leader, what we want to do is to say less, ask questions, and just listen and reframe.
Mm-hmm.
I always say this, like when you're going through downtime, you're going to your friends, you're telling them all your problems.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, they are there for you. Yes, they're pouring their heart out to you, but they might just be validating your negativity,
Mm-hmm.
right? They're agreeing with you, but
Yeah,
that might not help you.
sure.
What
It's
you need is
support,
to,
but not
yes,
coaching.
right,
Yeah.
right. And that's what coaches do. And that's why I really recommend you to ask for help. It doesn't have to be me, but ask for help when you need to.
Mm-hmm. That's great advice. I'm curious if you have any other advice that you haven't shared yet, but would like to leave with our listeners or viewers.
Ah, I would have to say two things. So, yes, I've made all these bold moves, right? But you do not have to wait until something so dramatic to happen in your life to make a change,
Hmm, that's a good
right?
tip.
Yes, I had these bold moves, but I never waited until a big aha moment in my life. It was all these small aha moments that add up that made me who I am today. I always trust that I'm able to find what I need the moment I choose it. For example, if I want to be confident, I choose to be confident. If I want to live in gratitude, I choose to be grateful. right? I don't have to wait. The moment you make that decision,
Mm-hmm.
there you go. You have it. It's like flexing the muscles on your body. You have your confidence muscle, you have your gratitude muscle. Flex them, work them, intentionally work them.
Yeah, I love that. I agree for sure with that.
And I also always say this. My favorite quote is, yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery, today is a gift, which is why we call it the present.
That's cute.
it, it helps me so much because what happens yesterday, whatever happens in your past, it is a story now. It's
Mhm.
the last chapter. Turn the page, and you have so much potential ahead of you. But you don't want to worry too far into the future, right? Just let
Right.
tomorrow be a mystery. Just focus on today. If
That's
you're
great.
happy, if you're joyful today, if you're living the life of your the day of your lives today, then
Mhm.
every day, from moment to moment, day to day, every day, you're living in joy and living a fulfilled life.
That's fantastic. Thank you so much. Now, if anybody is listening and they want to find your book recommendations, or they want to follow you on Instagram or social media, or they want to potentially work with you, where can we be found online?
Um, I am at LucyLiu, LucyLiuCoaching.com.
Mm-hmm.
And right now, you can grab a ebook and an instant happiness toolkit on my website. And I've talked about this with Mandie only for her listeners. When you book the Power Breakthrough, that's a fast-paced 30-minute breakthrough session to get you unstuck very quickly and move forward in a very positive way. You can book that on my calendar, on my website, and it will be complimentary. But you do have to leave a comment when you book that you found me through this show.
Okay, thank you so much for that. That's super generous of you. Well, I really appreciate, again, you waking up super early to give us this chat, and I hope that you are as pleased as I am with your very first video interview.
Thank you so much for having me and for all the beautiful souls tuning in. Thank you for listening, and come say hi to me. I am at MSLucyLiu, Miss Lucy Liu, on Instagram. And actually, it's the same handle on Facebook and Twitter. Come say hi, and I hope you have a wonderful day.
Those are definitely some bold moves and bold statements there. I hope you really enjoyed Lucy's story. If you want to see links to her social media and website, if you want the links to the books and everything, it's all in the show notes at www.boldmovespodcast.com. If you're listening to this the day it came out, first of all, thank you for probably subscribing or jumping to it right away. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. But then you still have the chance to join my online book club. We're going through Ashley Feinstein Gersley's book. She was a guest a few weeks ago and wrote the 30-Day Money Cleanse. We're all going through it together with Ashley. So it's a cool opportunity. And if you're listening to this early enough, jump on it. And I hope this gets the Sir Mix-a-Lot Jump On It song stuck in your head. Anyway, like I said, the show notes about Lucy are at my website, and so are the details on that book club thing, so make sure you head over there, either boldmovespodcast.com, there's no tricky spelling there, or mandiebrice.com, and that's MandieBrice.com. Hope to see you there. Again, I hope you've subscribed, and if you have, thank you so much for doing so. I'd love it if you also shared this episode with anyone who you think would find it interesting, entertaining, or helpful. And of course, I would love a nice review in iTunes, well, that's now Apple Podcasts, because that would help me get my message to more people, which is, of course, a huge part of my ultimate goal, and I would appreciate your help with that. All right, stay tuned for Friday. I have a fantastic challenge from Lucy that you won't want to miss. As always, be bold and have a sparkly day. Bye-bye.